Welcome to Scattered, the podcast that's all over the map in the best way possible. From pro wrestling to pop culture, from mental health to the Buffalo Bills, and everything in between. If it's interesting, we're talking about it. And now, here's your host, the king of variety, the master of ADD, and the guy who proves being all over the place can be awesome, Brian Fink.
Welcome to a brand new episode of Scattered. This is a New Year's episode. New year, same me, same breed. Scattered as always, and I am going to be with you for the next little while now. I don't think this is going to be as long of an episode as the last couple have. This is also going to be an audio only. This is more of a holiday New Year message. I'm going to touch on one or two things, but really, this is just to kind of connect with you guys, let you know I am still doing this. I'm still excited to be a part of it. I'm excited to see what 2025 is going to bring to the Scattered brand. As you guys know, I had mentioned I was going back to work a couple of weeks back, so I had to get myself situated there. Today was actually, as I'm recording this was my first day back in the office. I had worked a couple of weeks at home to get myself back into the swing of things, but this was the first day back in the office. And I got to tell you, it felt great. I am so supported by my employer and by the team there. I was welcomed with open arms. I dressed to the nines. I'll post a picture of me. I'm in my three-piece suit, ready for the new year. Same me, trying to flex. But no, it felt so nice to get back to what I would call a sense of normality, a sense of normacy, whatever the word is. But it was nice. It really was. And we got out early, so that's always cool too. My first day back was not a full day. There were a few things I want to touch on. First of all, with the new year coming up, by the time you listen to this, it will be 2025. And I'm not, as I said in my newsletter, which I encourage everyone to join, I will post a link with it. As I said in my newsletter, I'm not really one for resolutions. I think that setting resolutions just because it's the flip of the calendar is short-sighted and a little silly. But I am okay with goal setting in the long term and even in the short term. So again, rather than necessarily, hey, New Year's resolution, I'm going to drop 15 pounds, I might say something like, in the first quarter of this year, I'm going to continue my body transformation by eating healthy and by exercising daily. And I would like to lose somewhere around 15 pounds. Now, yes, semantically, I'm probably splitting hairs here, but I feel like having smart goals and obtainable goals are things that will help you along the way. So while I said, yeah, I'd like to lose 15 pounds, in the first quarter of the year, really it starts with, I want to get on the treadmill today. I want to be mindful of what I'm eating today. I like to break things down to the most minute step possible because, as I've shared with you guys, I'm a macro thinker. I am. I think big picture constantly. I think a lot of people who are scattered, a lot of people who have ADD, all kind of have this macro thinking. So for me, in order to see that through, I have to break things down. I have to learn how to break things down to a minute level. And I'm wondering how much you guys feel that way. If you have a big goal, if in 2025 you want to, again, body transformation, or you want that new position at your job, or you want that new house, what are you doing to get there? What are you doing to obtain that? What little baby steps, what smart goals are you setting? By the end of January, I want to have $1,500 put away. By the end of February, I want $3,000 put away towards that house. I mean, what are the baby steps that you guys are going to take to achieve your goals. I have two major goals for this year. Number one is, again, as I said, to continue my body transformation. When I got sick, I gained back about 20 pounds from my lightest. And I would like to be back down I'd like to lose about 15 to 20 pounds. And I'm going to do that by getting on the treadmill at least 3 times a week for 45 minutes. And I'm going to do it by being conscious of what I'm consuming. Now, I'm recording this on New Year's Eve, so you best believe I'm going to sit, I'm going to eat junk food. I'll be with my wife, I'll be with my daughter, with my father and brother, a good friend, and we'll laugh, we'll have a couple of drinks, and we'll gorge and pig out. But I'm going to be mindful moving forward. And that's all you can be. You can take those baby steps. The other major goal this year, and I've said it to you guys, and I'll say it till I'm blue in the face, is I want to build this brand, this scattered brand. What does that look like? Well, by the end of March, I would like 200 followers on this podcast. I would love it. If I don't hit that, I'm not going to consider it a failure because I'm going to continue to push forward because that's all you can do is continue to push forward and continue to work towards that goal. But I am setting a goal by the end of March. I would like 200 followers. The keys to get there are going to be consistency. I've got to continue to post no matter what, advertising and branding, which I probably annoy some people with because most of my posts are about scattered, but at least it gets people thinking. It gets my name out there. And most importantly is having a message, a clear message to convey. And it's funny because the whole shtick is scattered, but I'm saying I need a clear message. And for me, that message is that regardless of your interests, regardless of where you are in life, you need to be unapologetically you. There's a chapter in my book that I'm working on that will be out hopefully this year. That's another goal. I'm hoping to publish my book this year. But there's a chapter called Unapologetically Matt. And it's all about my brother, Matt, who you guys met. He's the idiot who thinks Die Hard is a Christmas movie, which, by the way, I lost in glorious fashion that poll. Everyone seemed to agree with Matt. So I will be posting that video, much to my chagrin, in a Die Hard Christmas shirt, admitting that it's a Christmas movie, but I do it under protest. Anyways, Matt is unapologetically Matt, no matter what. He is the same guy. While a lot of people, myself included, sometimes become chameleon-esque, and we feel like we have to fit into certain bubbles, Matt will sit on a chair and look at Power Rangers videos, whether he's hanging out with me or he's sitting down with the President of the United States. Not that he's ever done that, but he would. He just is 100% comfortable in his skin, and it is something that I've always admired. And the reason I bring this up is scattered brand. The scattered brand is about acceptance. It's, yeah, okay, cool. Maybe you have ADD. Maybe you have some kind of mental illness or physical disability. Maybe you have interests that others would find weird. But we are all in this together, man. We're all in it together, and we are going to grow this brand and let everyone know that we are unapologetically us. And if that means that we're a little scattered, then we're a little scattered. If it means we're quite the opposite and we have to write a list and we're almost obsessive about everything to see things get through, that's cool too. This brand is for everyone, guys. It is not a niche thing. It's accepting of everyone. And if you're into the stuff I'm into, that's awesome. If you're into stuff that I'm not into, bring it up to me. We'll talk about it. I love to continue to learn. I love to continue to be educated. I'm really, really big this year. I took a lot in 2024. I took a lot of interest in the stock market, started learning a lot about the S&P and about investments as a whole, learned about the Dow. And these were things that I never knew before. To me, the stock market and, retirement and investments were just for rich people. I never realized the little bits that I could do to contribute to my future. And now I have a real interest in it. So I'm all for learning new things. What's something that you guys want to learn this year? Let me know. Something that you're looking to learn, not only your New Year's resolution, but maybe something you'd like to get educated on and you'd like to learn about. I'd love to hear about that as well. Switching gears for a minute, I do want to let you guys know I took my daughter this past weekend and we saw Sonic the Hedgehog 3. I have to tell you, I really, really enjoyed it. I think Ben Schwartz, when he was first cast as Sonic, I was a little disappointed because I grew up with Jaleel White, Urkel, for those who don't recognize the name, Steve Urkel from Family Matters, used to play Sonic on the cartoons when I was a kid. And then you had the video game voices as I got a little bit older. So that was the Sonic I knew. And when they went with Ben Schwartz, I was a little disappointed. And the first movie, I wasn't over the moon about. I thought it was okay. The second movie I really, really enjoyed. And this third one was fantastic. It was great. I think if you are a fan of Sonic and you're a fan of the kind of the backstory, you'll really enjoy it. But I have to give a couple of special shout outs. First of all, Idris Elba as Knuckles. I hated the idea in the second one when they made Knuckles a bit of a buffoon. Knuckles was always my favorite. So I never liked the idea of him being a buffoon. But I think Idris Elba is just brilliant. I think he's so funny. His timing is great. And he usually plays such a serious role that to see him as kind of a cornball goof is great. And then Jim Carrey is absolutely out of this world. Jim Carrey in this performance as both Ivo Robotnik, who we all know, and Gerald Robotnik, his grandfather, and I won't give away too much of the plot, but Jim Carrey plays both characters. He does a marvelous job. This is an ode to the old physical comedy of Ace Ventura and The Mask. That's what Jim Carrey's performance reminded me of. I was laughing out loud. My daughter was laughing. It was everything that I grew up loving about Jim Carrey. The slapstick, everything was there. The story is not going to, the movie's not going to win any Oscars. Don't expect, a huge, great plot that really leaves you thinking. But if you're looking to have fun and you're looking to laugh and you're looking for a fun movie, I would definitely recommend you go and check out Sonic. It was a lot of fun. And I can't wait for it. Speaking of checking out, I have to tell you what I checked out, and I'm sure many of you have, and that is the new James Gunn Superman trailer. Wow, guys. I loved it. I loved everything about it. I know there are people who are complaining about, Zack Snyder should have been able to finish his vision, and Henry Cavill is the only Superman. There's been 20 live-action Supermen, guys. Nobody's going to ever touch Christopher Reeve, but there's been 20 live-action Supermen. I really like Tyler Hoechlin, who just played him on Superman and Lois. He's also the voice of Sephiroth in Final Fantasy VII. So I thought he was great. But this guy, David, I can't pronounce the last name. Somebody's going to have to correct me. I'm flying without a net today. So I apologize, guys. But this guy looks good. He looks like Superman. It's bright. It's colorful. Yes, there seems to be a lot of characters. We'll see where that goes. But man, that music, the fact that they are using a spin on the John Williams score, the most famous Superman theme, one of the most famous movie themes of all time. And the fact that they're using that, I got chills throughout my body watching this trailer. I know some people have complained about Guy Gardner, Nathan Fillion playing Guy Gardner. If you've ever seen Guy Gardner in the comics, he has that horrible Mo Howard haircut. So the fact that they gave that to Nathan Fillion, I don't get why people are complaining. I did see a couple of funny things. One person compared him to the owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. I saw someone else compare him to Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber. It's an ugly Mo Howard bowl cut. But that's what Guy Gardner has. So the fact that Nathan Fillion has it, it's not really that big of a deal to me. I saw someone else complain that Crypto doesn't translate to live action. For those wondering, Crypto is Superman's dog, who is also from the planet Krypton. I'm not a huge Crypto fan, but I'm willing to give it a chance. And James Gunn has done really good work. Everyone loved all three of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. The James Gunn Suicide Squad movie was, while not perfect, it was light years better than the first Suicide Squad movie. Peacemaker, that he does with John Cena, is really good. So I'm excited for it. It comes out July 11th. I'll be there opening day. I will give my review at that time, but I think it looks awesome. And how about them Buffalo Bills? As we head into the postseason, there's one more week left, week 18 of the NFL season. The Bills are going to rest most of their starters. According to Sean McDermott, the head coach of the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen will start the game for the sake of his continuous starting streak. So Allen is going to start, but then he's going to be pulled out very quickly, which is a smart move. I would rest everybody and just let your starters heal up and get ready for the playoffs. Right now, as of this recording, it's looking like the Broncos will be our first round opponent. However, Miami can still get in there. If the Broncos lose and Miami wins, Miami gets into the playoffs. If the Broncos and Miami lose and the Bengals win, then the Bengals get into the playoffs. And I am much more afraid of Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals than I am of Miami or Denver. So I am hoping Denver wins because I think if Denver can get into the playoffs, I think Buffalo will beat them at home. And then we have to worry about the divisional round. But the Buffalo Bills are the number 2 seed. Kansas City is the only one with an official bye for the AFC. And in the NFC, the Eagles are the number 2 seed. And we're waiting. The final game of the season, game 272, Sunday Night Football, will be the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings, where the winner is number 1, gets the bye, and the loser is number 5 and has to travel for all of their playoff games. So there's a lot at stake there. I'm predicting a Detroit Lions victory. I just trust the Lions a little bit more. I trust Jared Goff a little more than I do Sam Darnold. That's not to say that Sam Darnold has not played lights out, because he's played exceptionally well. But I like Dan Campbell. I trust the Lions. I'm thinking the Lions win it and Minnesota goes on the road. So that's my football talk, guys. I know that I had promised you all that I was going to talk a little bit about the video game I was playing. I did play Judgment. It's a Yakuza spinoff. I just beat it. It is awesome, but I want to be able to give it justice. And honestly, like I said, this was not going to be as long of an episode. This isn't even being recorded for video. So I am going to hold off on that until next week. But I wish you all a safe and a happy New Year. I hope you had a great Merry Christmas or a Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever it was you celebrated or continue to celebrate. And I want to hear all about your 2025 plans, what your goals are, resolutions, whatever you want to call them. I want to hear all about it. Hit me up BrianThinksScattered at Outlook.com. Find me on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, Brian Thinks Scattered, B Think Scattered. I'm always posting stuff. I'm super excited to see all of you guys real soon and to talk again. Happy New Year. Stay scattered and let's build this together.